I will say that I absolutely hated this. I saw the text messages that were used as a part of discovery in this divorce, which I think is so sad because it just sucks. As somebody who's a product of multiple divorces, it sucks. It sucks to see. And my parents' divorces, they weren't even public, but watching this, I can see a clear side. It's not Dorit. I think that Dorit is playing a dangerous game. And then having her kids and PK's kids, it looks like she's turning them against him. It just, even if that's working for you in the moment, let me just say, one day they're going to be old enough to understand what's going on, just like I did. And I turned old enough to understand. You're playing a dangerous game, and seeing the text messages that are being sent, you need to do better, girl. And I'll leave it at that.
I honestly didn't think it would go this far. What started as a typical celebrity breakup has now exploded into something far more intense, and fans are calling it one of the most shocking divorce situations to come out of Beverly Hills in years. Between Dorit and PK, the situation is no longer about separation. It's about accusations, financial chaos, and private details allegedly spilling into public view at an unstoppable speed. And every new update seems to make the story more complicated than the last. Leaked claims, financial disputes, and emotional allegations are now circulating online, and what's disturbing is that both sides are telling completely different versions of the truth. One paints a picture of reckless spending and financial collapse, while the other points to control, pressure, and emotional manipulation behind closed doors. And here's the part that really changed everything. An alleged insider reportedly said, "This wasn't a sudden breakup. This was a slow-burning war that finally exploded in public." Now fans are asking the same question everywhere. Who is really responsible for the downfall? And what part of the story has been hidden from the public until now? Because if even a fraction of these claims are true, then this isn't just a divorce story anymore. It's a complete unraveling of a luxury life that looked perfect on the outside, but may have been falling apart for years behind the scenes. And what comes next changes everything. Dorit and PK were once seen as one of the most talked about couples in the world of Beverly Hills luxury. A relationship built on fame, glamour, expensive lifestyle, and constant public attention. From designer fashion appearances to luxury vacations and reality TV spotlight moments, they represented what many believed was a perfect high-class marriage. But behind the cameras, insiders now suggest that cracks had been forming for years. Cracks that were carefully hidden from public view. According to early reports and resurfacing discussions, their relationship was never as smooth as it appeared on screen. Friends close to the couple allegedly noticed frequent disagreements over lifestyle choices, financial decisions, and long-term stability. While the public saw smiles, red carpets, and luxury branding, behind closed doors, tensions were reportedly building slowly but dangerously. What makes this situation even more intense is how both Dorit and PK were deeply connected to a lifestyle where image meant everything. In Beverly Hills culture, appearance is not just important, it's everything. And that pressure, according to insiders, may have played a major role in what eventually turned their marriage into a high-stakes emotional battlefield. Over time, whispers of financial stress and internal conflict began to surface. Some sources claimed there were growing disagreements about spending habits and financial priorities, while others hinted at deeper emotional disconnect between the two. But none of it was ever confirmed publicly, until now. Because recently, everything changed. What was once private tension has now allegedly turned into a very public breakdown, with claims, counterclaims, and explosive accusations being discussed across media platforms and social networks. The same couple who once symbolized luxury and stability is now at the center of a controversy that fans are calling unpredictable and chaotic. And the most shocking part? People close to the situation suggest that what the public is seeing right now is only the surface, and the real story behind their marriage may be far more complicated, emotional, and explosive than anyone ever imagined. As this story unfolds, one thing is becoming clear: this is no longer just a celebrity breakup. It's the beginning of a much deeper and darker unraveling of a relationship that once looked untouchable from the outside. Everything changed the moment the first serious allegations started surfacing online, because what was once described as a private separation between Dorit and PK suddenly turned into a full-blown public conflict that nobody expected to escalate this fast. According to circulating reports and unverified insider claims, the initial conflict reportedly began with financial disagreements that quickly spiraled out of control. At first, it was just whispers, small disagreements about spending habits, lifestyle pressure, and household financial responsibilities. But behind the scenes, those small issues allegedly grew into something much more explosive. The first major twist came when claims of excessive luxury spending started appearing in leaked discussions and alleged court-related references. Reports suggested that large amounts of money were being spent on high-end designer brands, luxury travel, and lifestyle maintenance, while at the same time, serious financial obligations were reportedly becoming harder to manage. But that's where the situation takes a darker turn, because PK's side allegedly began presenting a completely different narrative. Instead of just spending concerns, the story shifted into accusations of financial mismanagement, unpaid obligations, and a home allegedly moving closer to foreclosure. And suddenly, what looked like a relationship issue became a financial war playing out in public. Insiders claim that tensions reached a breaking point when discussions about selling the family home came into the picture. According to sources, one side allegedly wanted to secure financial stability by making major changes, while the other reportedly resisted the idea completely. That disagreement alone reportedly became a major turning point in the relationship. And then came the twist that shocked fans even more. Alleged leaked documents and messages began circulating online, suggesting that both parties were not just disagreeing, but actively building legal and emotional cases against each other. One version of events painted a picture of financial pressure and emotional strain being used as leverage, while the other side allegedly accused reckless spending and refusal to cooperate on financial decisions. At this point, the narrative completely split in two. Fans were no longer watching a simple divorce. They were watching two competing stories, both claiming to be the truth, both damaging the other's reputation in real time. And just when things couldn't get more intense, another layer was added. Reports started emerging about household responsibilities becoming part of the dispute. Allegations surfaced that essential expenses and bills were being debated, disputed, and even used as evidence in legal discussions. What shocked viewers the most was how quickly private marital issues had allegedly turned into public talking points involving money, property, and control. Social media immediately exploded. Some users believed Dorit was being unfairly targeted and pressured financially. Others argued that the spending claims, if true, painted a completely different picture of responsibility and accountability. The internet didn't just react, it divided instantly into opposing sides. And in the middle of all this chaos, both Dorit and PK reportedly continued to stand by their own versions of the truth, making it even harder for the public to understand what was actually happening behind closed doors. But the most shocking part of this entire phase of the story wasn't even the accusations themselves. It was the realization that this wasn't a sudden breakdown. According to insiders, this conflict had been building for a long time, silently, slowly, and dangerously, until it finally reached a point where control was no longer possible. And just when it seemed like the situation had already hit its peak, an even bigger escalation was about to change the entire direction of the story again. Just when fans thought the situation between Dorit and PK couldn't get more intense, the entire narrative took a darker and far more explosive turn. Because what started as a financial dispute suddenly escalated into something much bigger: allegations of strategic pressure, emotional manipulation, and behind-the-scenes legal warfare that neither side seemed willing to back down from. According to circulating reports and online claims, new developments suggested that the conflict was no longer just about money, but about control. One side allegedly began accusing the other of intentionally creating financial pressure to force major life decisions, while the opposing side doubled down on claims of reckless spending and financial irresponsibility. And then came the reveal that shocked viewers the most. Leaked references and alleged court-related discussions began circulating online, suggesting that private communications, including emails and messages, were being used as evidence in the ongoing dispute. This immediately changed everything, because what was once a private separation now looked like a fully documented legal battle unfolding in real time. But the escalation didn't stop there. Social media platforms erupted as supposed insider breakdowns of the situation began trending. Fans started dissecting every detail, every quote, every report, every alleged financial figure, trying to determine who was telling the truth. And with every new post, the divide between supporters grew even stronger. Some users began framing the situation as a case of financial mismanagement and lifestyle pressure finally catching up. Others argued it was a calculated effort to shift blame and control the public narrative. The truth became harder and harder to define, and that uncertainty only fueled more speculation. And just when the chaos seemed overwhelming, another unexpected claim surfaced, suggesting that even external voices connected to their social circle were allegedly becoming involved in the conversation, either directly or indirectly influencing how the story was being interpreted online. That added an entirely new layer of tension, because now it wasn't just a private conflict anymore. It had become a public spectacle involving opinions, narratives, and competing versions of reality. At this stage, the situation had clearly moved beyond a normal celebrity divorce story. It had transformed into something far more chaotic, a multi-layered public battle where truth, perception, and emotion were all colliding at once, and no one could confidently say where it would end next. But what happened after this escalation didn't just shock fans. It completely changed the direction of the entire story once again. As soon as the situation between Dorit and PK started spreading across social media, the reaction was immediate and extremely divided. What was once just a celebrity divorce story quickly turned into a full-scale online debate, with fans, commentators, and so-called insiders all trying to decode what was really happening behind the scenes. On one side, a large group of viewers expressed sympathy toward Dorit, arguing that she was being unfairly judged based on selective financial claims and media narratives. They pointed out that celebrity lifestyles often involve complex financial structures that the public rarely understands. To them, the situation looked less like careless spending and more like a heavily distorted story being pushed through leaks and accusations. On the other side, critics were far more harsh. They argued that if the financial allegations were even partially accurate, then the situation pointed toward long-standing issues of overspending, image-driven lifestyle choices, and a disconnect between public luxury and private responsibility. These users believed the situation was a reality check on how fragile glamorous lifestyles can become when financial pressure builds up silently over time. Meanwhile, entertainment commentators and gossip pages amplified the situation even further. Every new claim, every alleged document, and every rumored statement was dissected in detail, turning the divorce into a trending topic across multiple platforms. Some posts went viral within hours, sparking thousands of comments and heated arguments between opposing fan groups. Industry insiders, according to online speculation, also began quietly reacting to the unfolding drama. Some suggested that the situation was being closely watched because of its potential impact on public perception of reality television relationships. Others hinted that the level of exposure and financial detail being discussed was unusually intense even by celebrity standards. But what made the reaction even more explosive was how personal it became for viewers. Many people began comparing the situation to real-life financial struggles, relationships, and family disputes, which made the story feel less like entertainment and more like a cautionary example. That emotional connection fueled even more engagement, as audiences debated not just what happened, but who was truly responsible. And just when the public thought they had formed their opinions, new updates and conflicting reports continued to surface, keeping the conversation alive and constantly shifting. No single narrative stayed stable for long, and every new detail seemed to challenge what people thought they already knew. At this point, The story had fully escaped control. It was no longer just about Dorit and PK. It had become a viral cultural moment, driven by speculation, emotion, and endless debate, leaving everyone waiting for the next shocking update to drop. Just when it seemed like the story between Dorit and PK couldn't get any more chaotic, a final wave of alleged developments pushed the entire situation into an even darker and more unpredictable direction. Because according to ongoing online discussions and circulating claims, the focus of the dispute suddenly shifted once again, from financial accusations and lifestyle criticism to something far more personal and emotionally charged. What was once a battle over money and property now appeared to be evolving into a deeper conflict involving trust, communication, and long-standing resentment that had reportedly been building for years. And then came the twist that left fans completely stunned. New alleged reports began suggesting that both sides were no longer just defending themselves publicly, but were actively trying to shape the entire narrative in real time. Every statement, every leaked detail, and every media appearance seemed to be part of a larger strategy to control how the public perceived the breakdown of their marriage. But what shocked viewers the most was the idea that this wasn't a sudden collapse at all. According to insider speculation, this entire situation may have been quietly building long before it ever reached the public eye. Small disagreements, financial stress, emotional distance, and lifestyle pressure may have slowly created a point of no return until everything finally exploded in full view of the public. And just when audiences thought they had seen all the major revelations, another layer of tension appeared online. Some discussions began hinting that more private details could still emerge, details that have not yet been fully revealed or confirmed publicly. This immediately reignited speculation, with fans questioning whether the biggest revelations were still ahead. At this stage, nothing feels stable anymore. Every new claim contradicts the last. Every new update reshapes the entire narrative. And every side insists that the truth is still not fully out. The most unsettling part of all of this is that there is still no clear ending in sight. Instead, what remains is uncertainty, a growing storm of conflicting stories, and the possibility that even more shocking information could surface at any moment and completely change everything once again. Because in this story, just when you think it has reached its peak, it always finds a way to go one step further. And the biggest question now is simple. Is this really the end of the Dorit and PK saga? Or are we only seeing the beginning of something even more explosive that has yet to come out? Now that you've seen how deep this situation between Dorit and PK allegedly goes, the real question is, what do you think is actually happening behind all these conflicting stories? Because at this point, nothing is simple anymore. Every report, every claim, and every leaked detail is pointing in a different direction. One side is being blamed for financial chaos and luxury overspending, while the other side is being accused of emotional pressure, control, and manipulation. But the truth is, only the people inside that relationship know what really happened behind closed doors. So we want to hear from you. Do you believe this is a case of lifestyle pressure finally collapsing under financial reality? Or do you think there is more going on behind the scenes that the public still hasn't fully understood yet? And here's another question that's dividing fans everywhere. If everything being reported is even partially true, who do you think is more responsible for how far this situation has escalated? Or is this one of those rare cases where both sides contributed equally to the downfall? Drop your opinion in the comments below, because this is one of those stories where every perspective matters and every detail changes the way people see it. And if you want more updates like this, make sure you stay connected, because stories like this don't end here. In fact, situations like this often evolve even further once new information starts surfacing, and when it does, you'll want to be the first to know what changes next. So don't forget to like this video if you found this breakdown interesting, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the most shocking celebrity stories, hidden controversies, and unexpected revelations happening right now in the entertainment world. Because trust us, this might not be the final chapter. There could still be more twists coming, and you won't want to miss what happens next.